So hello, welcome back to another mock test of NPSC CTSE. So today we will be doing the mock test for combined technical, mock test number 3, and this will be very helpful for those who are preparing for combined technical service examination. And before I start my class, I would like to also announce that this mock test means if you want to try a full length mock test, the link is provided here. You can register and help yourself and assess your preparation. So it will consist of GK and English, so 2 mock tests. So let us start with the class. First question number 1: in which of the following zone of biosphere reserve the human interference is completely prohibited? So biosphere reserve the kuntu completely prohibited as a, is it a transition zone, buffer zone, core zone, or manipulation zone? So the answer is what? Option number C, that is core zone. Let us understand this. So core zone the case before the center of the biosphere reserve and where no human activity is allowed in this area of biosphere reserve. It is legally protected area for the wildlife animals. A biosphere reserve is a specified area in which land is used for conservation of important species of plants and animals along with other purposes. So next question. Consider the following statement. Ice floats in water as its density is lighter, and when ice melts, its volume increases. So which of the following is incorrect? Incorrect. So ice floats in water as density is lighter. So ice though, for example, the cup the ice actually it will float because the density though water the comedy. So 1 is correct. So 1 the novo. So incorrect though 1 the novo. So the answer will be only 2. That is, ice melts gradually though the volume will decrease. So the answer is what? Only 2. Next question. Question number 3. Aladi Krishnaswamy Ayar was the chairperson or chairman of the Taj Constituent Assembly of India. So Aladi Krishnaswamy Ayar tai kila chairman rashi. Is it an order of business committee, credential committee, union powers committee, or fundamental rights subcommittee? So what is the answer? The answer is option number B. That is credential committee. Let us study in detail about this. So Alati Krishnaswamy Iyengar credential committee latai chairman and he was the advocate general of the Madras State from 1929 to 1944. Press gallery committee to Ushanath Singh, order of business to KM Munshi, credential committee minor committee is the Alati Krishnaswamy Iyengar, and house committee to Patapi Sitaramaya. So this is the answer. Next question. With reference to Indo-Islamic architecture, which of the following statement is correct? So, is it A. Islamic buildings in Islamic countries are made of brick and lime only? Indo-Islamic architecture are triangular? Human figurines are common in Indo-Islamic architecture, or Indo-Islamic architecture opted for geometric patterns, floral patterns, inscription on various styles, and inlay on marble? So, the answer is what? Option number D is the correct answer. Islamic countries though made of brick and lime only. The wrong was it because marble and kiki thaigo triangular no, it is dome shape thaigo. For example, just take an example of Taj Mahal. So they have dome structures. So you don't know. Human figurines were common. Human figurines means it was kiki human la figure and statue one ito there. So it is not there because they are mostly Islamic. Or Islam there, they do not have any like representation of human. That is ido nothing. So only D is the correct answer. Next question. Consider the following statement. Statement number 1. He organized an efficient spy system. To prevent the fraudulent masters, he began to practice the branding of horses, dark, and preparing descriptive roles of soldiers. Number 3. One of the most remarkable of his reform was that of market regulation. So who is the Delhi Sultanate? Is it A. Sikandar Lodhi, B. Firoz Shah Tughlaq, C. Alauddin Khilji, or D. Qutb-ud-Din Aibak? So what is the answer? The answer is option number C, Alauddin Khilji. Let us study in detail about this. So Alauddin Khilji though belongs to the Khilji dynasty, which was established by Jalaluddin Khilji Alauddin Chitor campaign was described in the book Padmavat written by Malik Muhammad J.C. Or he adopted the title Sikandar-e-Saini or the second Alexander. Or he was known for his economic reforms like market reforms, uniformity in prices, introduction of Biswa system, etc. He proclaimed that kingship knows no kingship, means king karne taila family kan iko nai. And he introduced the branding of horses, that is horses kan ke dak, that is horse government horses means kingdom karne horse chola tha idu kali thana official work karne, not for personal works, and maintenance of detailed register of soldier, that is for any identity card nishna, that is chera. And the system of espionage organized by Alauddin was very systematic and effective. So this is the answer. Next question. Question number 6. In which of the following economic policies of British led to the collapse of Indian handicraft? Is it number 1, high import duties on Indian goods on Britain, import cheaper machine-made textiles from Britain, or absence of patronage from Indian artisans? So what is the answer? Kundo economic policies itu tinate which led to the collapse of Indian handicraft. So the answer is what? Option number C. That is 1, 2, and 3. The soap in the factor to play kore. Let us study in detail. So the British imposed a policy of one-way free trade in India after 1813. That is, duties on British exports in India was reduced to a great extent, so much that the British goods became cheaper in the local Indian market also. The local Indian handicrafts, which initially had high demands in the Western world, was reduced by imposing high import duties. So this is the answer. Statement 2, the case of the British goods were produced on mass scale and means mass by powerful steam operated machines. The Indian goods could not compete with the import of cheaper and large scale machine produced goods, and thus led to the sudden collapse of Indian handicraft. So, and ruin of Indian industry, particularly rural artisan industries, the lack of support from the local rulers. So this led to the collapse of the Indian handicraft. So next question. Question number 7. DAS is calculated by dividing the nominal GDP in the given year by real GDP of the same year and multiplying by 100. So what is the answer? Is it a disposable income, GDP deflator, real income, or per capita income? So that is calculated by dividing nominal GDP nominal divided by real GDP real GDP or GDPN into 100. So GDP deflator, option number B. So let us study in detail about this. The GDP deflator is an economic indicator that measures inflation or deflation of an economy. It is measured by dividing the nominal GDP by real GDP and multiplying by 100. That is GDP deflator. D is equal to case GDP nominal by GDP real into 100 will give the GDP deflator. It was so next, and nominal GDP though value of all the goods and services produced in an economy unadjusted for inflation, or real GDP though adjusted for inflation. So this is the answer. Next question. Consider the following: threaded tires, lubricants, or ball bearings on machine. Which of the following is used to reduce friction? Friction reduce korle ke aja. So is it option number 2, 2 and 3, 1 and 3, or 1, 2, 3? So the answer is what? Option number 2 and 3. B is the correct answer. Let us study in detail about this. So friction decay against the motion jala edike friction koi. So number 1, the threaded tires use certain reaction on traction can cause loss of control in accident. Tires are threaded to increase friction. So itu tire de taila side de means inga ulup rushing kata hote itu ki karne or ulup rough ta kata tire de ki karne sukle de friction increase korle. So 1 is incorrect. 2 do ball bearing kata sab to sliding friction reduce korle, or lubricant means grease kan oil kan dalina reduce korle. So 3 or 2 to correct acha. Only 1 is incorrect. Let us go to the next question. Question number 9. Consider the following statement regarding the Muslim reform movement. Muslim reform movement is option number A. Aligarh movement tried to reform the social abuses in the Muslim community and advocated Western education among the Muslims. Deoband school is an orthodox movement that was based on traditional Islamic practices. So, which of the following is correct? So, Muslim reform movement though, both 1 and 2 is correct. Why? Let us study in detail. So, the Aligarh Muslim movement emerged as a liberal and modern trend among the Muslim intelligence based on Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental College. Or the Muslim like they were lagging behind Hindus. So because of this, Aligarh movement introduce start kurche. Muslim gange means tange ke age Hindus gange means competition di bola. So social reforms among Muslims relating to Purda, polygamy, widow remarriage, and women's education, slavery, divorce were also advocated. Are to kon shuru kurche Sir Syed Ahmed Khan. So this is the answer. Next question. Consider the following: consumer goods and services, gross public domestic investment, goods and services produced by the government, and net income from abroad. So which are included in gross national product, GNP? So GNP though income, total value of all the goods and services produced in a country. So first of all, consumer goods and services, it is country below general grade, so 1 is included. Gross public and private domestic investment be as a means it public industries kamba or public entities kamba invest korana idike goods and services produced by the country by the government, and net income from abroad. Net income from abroad, for example US pa paisa potaje rupees, for example 50 million. So it means that paisa the US pa India de ayazro means India la benefit waja. So 4 is also included. So it will be option number D, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. Next question. Match the following: freedom of right to freedom, right against exploitation, freedom of religion, and cultural and educational rights. So first of all, right to freedom. Right to freedom though, it will be Article 19 to 22, that is right to freedom of speech and expression, the right to form association, it is of the freedom there's a right against exploitation though, child labor or human trafficking, it is of the prevent crole. So it will be 23 to 25. Right to freedom of religion means religion, any religion follow rule or religious institution established corridor of the 25 to 28 as a, and cultural and educational rights, minorities karne like educational rights or tana culture ke preserve korle tange special provision do the sub to under 29 and 30 the provide korna. So it will be A is 3, B will be 4, C will be 2, and D will be 1. So A3, B4, C2, and D1 is option number D is the correct answer. Next, let us study in detail some of the articles. So 6 fundamental rights are there: right to equality to Article 14 to 18, right to freedom to 19 to 22, right against exploitation to 23 24, right to freedom of religion 25 to 28, cultural and educational right Article 29 to 30, and right to constitutional remedies Article 32. So these are all the issues, all the articles. Let us go to the next question. Which among the following statement about the Indian Civil Service Act of 1861 is not correct? Indian Civil Service Act 1861 declared, it stated that any person, Indian or European, could be appointed to any of the offices if he had lived in India for a minimum of 10 years. So it's next, the individual was required to pass an exam in the vernacular language of the district in which he worked. The appointment was made conditional on passing departmental tests. All appointments were reported to the Secretary of State, and if not approved within 12 months, they were declared null and void. So B, C, or D the correct answer. Only A is not correct. That is, any Indian could not be appointed. To entrance exam pass korle. Let us study in detail. So the Indian Civil Service Act of 1861 the enacted during Lord Canning's viceroyalty, it provided for reservation of certain key positions for service members. The principal position were reserved for the British, and Satyendranath Tagore was the first Indian to qualify for the Indian Civil Service in 1863. This is the answer. Next question. the 1 rupee note to eta rupees 1 rupees la note has there, not coins but note. So idu karone kunna signature tage. The answer is what? Option number A, that is Secretary, Ministry of Finance is the correct answer. Let us go to the next question. Which of the following statement about cognitive computing is not correct or incorrect? Cognitive computing. So is it option number A, B, C or D? So cognitive computing do ki ajugule do ekta manula thought process do means ekta human thought process idu computer ba compute kola dige cognitive computing koi. So it mimics human cognitive function, adapting and improving system over time. So answer is option number C, that is cognitive computing solution can only analyze structured data, unstructured data be grow. So the answer is option number C. Let us study in detail about this. So cognitive computing, it is a system that stimulates human thoughts processed through advanced technology like AI, machine learning and natural language processing. Unlike traditional computing, cognitive systems though comprehend, reason and learn, enabling them to process vast amounts of unstructured data. Those are cognitive computing to complex problem solving, decision making or data analysis is up to debate. So the answer is what? Option number C. Next question. A student wants to change a feeble sound to a lower sound. So what is he should increase the case? So ekta sound, ekta student ekta low sound ba koda koise aru etu ke tai utham je high sound de or loud sound ba. So ki korle he should change the amplitude of the sound, amplitude the intensity to increase korle. So the answer is what? Option number A. Next question. Question number 16. Which of the following provisions is a part of both the directive principles of state policy and fundamental duties? So is it a participation of workers in management of industries, protection of environment, guardian to provide opportunity for education to children, or inform civil code? So the answer is what? Option number B, protection of environment. Let us study in detail about this. So protection of environment though fundamental duties to provide Article 51G there. That is, it should be duty of every citizen of India to protect and improve the natural environment, including forests, lakes, rivers, and wildlife. Our NPSC under Article 47 provide that is protection of environment. So this is correct. That is protecting the environment both in NPSC and fundamental duties. Next question. Kumba government acts so we'll match the following. Mondiko transport reform, so it is 1919 Morley Minto reform 1909 and pitch index 1784. That is A2, B3 and C1. That is A2, B3, C1 is option number C. So this is the answer. Next question. It consists of securities and other financial assets, particularly passively held by a foreign investor, does not provide the investor with direct ownership of financial asset and is relatively liquid. Which of the following fits the description? So securities as a financial asset as a foreign investor ba durin as a usually in the form of liquid, means cash as a describe kori dige. So is it FDI, participatory note, fund portfolio investment, or certificate of deposits? So held by foreign investors, obviously it will be foreign portfolio investment or foreign direct investment. No, because foreign direct investment only the Indian companies invest korala. So it FDI holy portfolio investment do means foreign company kan ido security or financial asset to held passively. So the answer is what? Option number C, that is foreign portfolio investment. Let us study in detail about this. So foreign portfolio investment consists of securities and other financial assets passively held by foreign investors. It does not provide the investor with direct ownership of financial assets and relatively liquid, means for example financial situation bishi biya do takan olaina jaijago paisa do. Example of foreign portfolio investment are stocks, bonds, mutual funds, exchange traded funds, American depository receipts and global depository receipts. FPI ke hot money because bishi risk paisa do, means for example India situation economic situation tik na kule tan automatically paisa uthai na tan jaijago. That is very volatile and very hot. So these are goal FPI. Next question. Question number 19. If there is no organic life on Earth, the amount of oxygen in the atmosphere will be. So atmosphere it will be remain unchanged. So the answer is option number A. Next question. The last question for today is the emission reduction unit ERU supported by Kyoto Protocol was issued under KEZA. Emission reduction unit to kunba issue kurse. Is it a clean development mechanism project, LULCF activities, joint implementation project, or global multi-sectoral activities sponsored by UN? So the answer is what? Option number C. Kyoto Protocol to 1997 de sign kurse. However 2005 te idu power ase aro idu ki ase bole to means emission to control koribo kane Kyoto Protocol to introduce question for climate change. So with this, the video is come to an end, and if you're still interested in the mock test, the link is provided here. You can register and help yourself assess your preparation. So thank you guys, and I wish you all the best for exam. Thank you.